It's start time with the Star Rod.
This is Dan. You are now listening to Star Time.
It's start time. I'm your host, the Star Rod, and I'm back. And I have another college day episode with my boy Daniel B. What's going on, Daniel?
What's going on, man?
Chilling.
Thanks for the invite.
So tell the people a little bit of background on you.
Grew up in Brooklyn. Spent most of my life there, and now spent the last 5 years living in Pennsylvania. Living here with me and my family, and that's really it. That's all about me.
You got a family, you got a daughter, and everything, right?
Yeah.
All right. Let's get into this. Was CityTech your first college choice?
It actually wasn't. I was thinking originally to go to Georgia State. I was kind of on the fence about going away, but my mom actually lived in Georgia, and so I was thinking I would make it happen. But yeah, I don't really know. Kind of just didn't work out, and CityTech was definitely on my list.
All right. So, what year did you start?
Seems like decades ago.
Oh man. So
that was like 2008, I think.
Okay.
Yeah, it sounds about right.
Yeah. When you came in, did you have to take remedial courses, or did you go straight into the courses you needed?
Yeah, I definitely ended up having to take a remedial math class. But it actually all worked out. Like, that kind of helped me really focus. That was obviously a weak area for me, and it is what it is. But that was about it.
So you and I know this is a while back. You got to jog your memory, but so you came into CityTech and you had a couple of people from your high school, right?
Yeah, actually, it was quite a few of us, and some people stayed around, some didn't.
Mm-hmm.
Just kind of one of those things. But yeah, I'm trying to think if anybody really stuck around. I think one or two might have graduated shortly after me, but that's kind of the thing with CityTech. I felt like people, were there and then they weren't. People took breaks and never came back. Eventually went back. One of those things.
True. So you remember the first classes we took together?
I do, man. What class was that? Was that the office class? Do you remember?
I think it was that old guy that was disabled.
Yeah, I definitely have a memory of that. I do.
I don't remember names at this point, but
yeah, absolutely not, man. There's some people I recognize. I see them on LinkedIn and stuff, which is kind of cool, but it's all spotty at this point.
So how was your experience in CityTech?
Honestly, I did enjoy it. Especially when I started to take it more serious. I think later on, it obviously wasn't the best school, but it was, I enjoyed it. How did you feel about the experience there?
I mean, it was what it was. Like a lot of people, when they talk about CityTech, they talk about high school, but I made the best of it. I had some classes I was struggling in, and I had some classes I was soaring in. I looked forward more to the classes that were like electives than our major classes. What about you?
Yeah, I did like. You said you liked the elective classes more?
Yeah, like classes like the math and the psychology and stuff. I looked more forward to those.
Yeah, I feel like there was definitely more. I learned a lot. I'll say that. Especially with like the psychology classes and stuff like that. So I kind of agree with you there, but I think overall, met some really good people and made some good connections. So I think that's.
Did you have classes in all of the buildings? There's 3 buildings really on the block.
I did. I remember being really confused about that. Like, I've been there for like my second or third year, and they're like, "Oh, you're in this building." I remember looking at the map, like, where the hell is this? Like, so it was kind of odd, but yeah, I've been around all the buildings, and I saw I don't know if they did or they're doing some like redesigning that building across from the main one. So,
oh, that's done.
Yeah.
It's been done for almost a year and a half now.
Wow. Yeah,
it's a whole new. It's done over. They put classrooms. They built it up. Nice. At first, it used to just been a gym or like another floor, but now it look like it goes all the way up.
Yeah, that's cool, man.
So the expansion is just there. Like, I'm pretty sure at this point they've added more majors because of that.
Yeah, I mean, I think it was definitely a popular school, and there's definitely a lot of potential there. So I'm happy that they were able to expand.
So what did you do outside of classes?
I mean, honestly, I spent a lot of time, with the different people I met, and mostly, we found activities to do, hung out with them, met their friends, and got into their circles. I remember going to a lot of different food places with them and trying different kind of foods and things like that. That's kind of the beauty of like New York, And
like around downtown Brooklyn or around New York?
Some downtown Brooklyn, some like in Manhattan, whether it's going to some dumpling shop or, trying, different kinds of foods in the city. Besides that, just hung out, found things to do in the city. Sometimes, went to some of the school events. It all depends.
I made friends with the people in the lunchroom, so I started to go out there when I had no class and play dominoes and Uno with them.
Yeah, I remember doing that. I remember hanging out with the guy. I think they had like a gaming club and different stuff like that. I remember.
They even had a video game club. I remember that.
Yeah, I think I stopped by there a few times. So yeah, I tried to do stuff around the campus and,
I mean, I just wanted to, the few years I was there, I wanted to explore the school, top and bottom, get to know what it was. Because CityTech is not huge, but it's not small.
Yeah.
If you know what I mean, because you said you got lost trying to find the buildings.
Yeah, I mean, and it's just confusing because of how broken up they are, But, I know they obviously made the best of what they could, so.
Right, especially because they're not all stretched the same exact. You had to go a block over and a few buildings over to get to the next 2 buildings and stuff, so, yeah.
For sure. I mean,
I know the electrical building. I went there and I had a class there on Saturdays. So to make things easy, I used to just take the train up one more stop and go to that building.
That makes sense. Yeah, some of those buildings were rough. And I mean, honestly, I was working when I was going there too. I think, later on I started working more and more. So I remember
you weren't even in the school like that later.
Sometimes I would like just be in and out, I remember one year, I think probably one of my either my last year or the one before, I would go to class in the morning at like 8 o'clock, go to work for like 9:30, work the whole day, then come back and take another class at night. Like that was kind of rough. So yeah, it was kind of hard to enjoy stuff at certain times too.
Were you familiar with the atrium hours? When they had the Thursday block?
No.
Because on Thursdays between like 2 and like 4, they had no classes and you had like activities in the atrium.
Oh wow. Yeah, I didn't know that.
that's when I started to meet like people outside of classes that I never knew, and people that I've seen from class. They would introduce me to their friends. You know, that was my social point in college, other than the lunchroom. You know.
Yeah, that's cool, man.
So did you went the whole thing the whole time through to CityTech? Did you stop? Did you take a time off?
Yeah, I definitely took some time off. I think I did the associates, and I think I kind of slowed down. Like, I don't remember if I stopped right away, but I definitely was out for like a year and a half, maybe two.
Damn.
I definitely.
I didn't even know you was out for that long, bro.
I was one of the, I was like, I'm gonna just take a semester off, and then it turned into a longer time. I had a lot of pressure from like my grandmother and my family, like, and I was like, I'm gonna go back, and the more time I spent away, the harder it was to go back. So I eventually did, obviously, and glad I did.
I freaking took one semester off after I got my associates, but I wasn't finding work, so I just went back the next semester. But my problem is I stayed in the school for so long because I wasn't taking the heavy credits, and I was, how like when you go into the major, you have to pass certain classes to get to the next.
Yeah.
Yeah, so sometimes I wouldn't pass that class, or I would drop out of the class, withdraw. So it will hold me back a whole semester. I think it was a semester I took only electives because I didn't have the prerequisites to take the major classes after. I'm talking about like business, accounting, all that crap,
Yeah.
And then when you have the science, you got the lab.
Yeah.
So when you got into the major heavy, you started to like enjoy the classes.
I did. I enjoyed some of the other classes, like you said, like philosophy. I learned some stuff, but I think at the end I was really like, I think trying to
catch up,
getting myself into the workforce and looking at the stuff required. I started to take the classes more serious, and I think it started to be, it was more fun and more challenging. Like, when we started doing like network labs, and those are the kind of things I really enjoyed. It was kind of hard sometimes just reading through a chapter, and it depended on who the professor was, right? Like, but
So did you take classes over and drop out too of classes, or?
I think later on, I kind of got ahead of myself at one point where, well, actually, I don't know if you even knew this. When I started at CityTech, I wasn't doing IT.
Tell me about that.
I actually enrolled to do electrical mechanical engineering.
Oh wow, this is new.
Yeah, my uncle was an electrical engineer, and he used to do he actually went to CityTech too.
Oh wow.
And I used to see some of the stuff he was working on. Like, they built this like elevator, and it was like a small model elevator that he used to have in the house, and it used to run. And these I forget what the box does, this electrical box. Like, we used to mess around with that stuff, and I thought it was really cool, and I started it. And I mean, I was interested, but I just felt like, like I wasn't fully committed to it.
Invested, I get it. Committed, yeah. Right.
So I did a few classes. I think I did that semester, and then I went up to see what I would need to change majors. So I started working towards that. So.
Oh wow.
Yeah, that kind of set me back a little bit too, but.
That is something. Because after I started right into the IT. I just didn't take the full course though, because the full course though will be like 16 credits, 15 credits. I'll be more of the defense of like 9 or 10 credits, you know?
Yeah.
So it took me a little longer even to get out of there because of not taking the full course load. And I'm over here, I'm coming back after I get my associates. I'm seeing people that's in my class and I stopped seeing them.
Yeah, that's how
They
it was,
finished or they good.
that's how it was, man. Like you said, I had a lot of people from high school there, and I would not see them for like a year, and they'd be like, "Oh yeah, I stopped coming," and then I came back, and it was tough. A lot of people transferred to different schools.
Yeah.
I actually.
Did you ever get on academic probation?
Nah.
I did.
One thing I don't know if you knew too, when I was trying to finish and I took some time off, I was playing catch up. I actually needed like one more class. So I took a class at LaGuardia.
Wow.
So I used to go to CityTech during the week, and I took that class on every Saturday for like 3-4 hours.
Damn.
Yeah, man. So
and it transferred over and everything, huh?
Yeah, so I worked with CityTech. Actually, they were actually able to they did that for me, because they couldn't find something that worked in my schedule, and they were like, "Well, you could do this," and they contacted them and got it approved. So
yeah, I remember that. I remember hearing that you could go to different CUNYs, and I never did it, but I remember you could do that. You could go to different CUNYs and take classes, and it would count. Because most people would transfer in from different CUNYs that way anyway.
Yeah, a lot of people I knew.
Once it's a CUNY and you've been in a CUNY for like 1 or 2 years, let's say like LaGuardia, Baruch, or Kingsborough, then the credits would transfer over when you came there.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, after, it's crazy because like, the people who started with me literally graduated a year before me.
Oh, wow.
Literally like 2013 graduation they was in.
Well, you said you took a semester off, and I know some people did some extra.
Yeah. But remember with me, I took a semester off, but I wasn't taking the full credits as well.
Yeah.
So it slowed me down entirely compared to them.
I know when you kind of looking at what you need to graduate, it's kind of intimidating. Like, especially once you're there a couple years and you kind of want to finish it up.
So I just started to like, after I seen them at that graduation, I said, "Oh, I ain't spending no more. I'm trying to see." I went on that Bursar thing to see what I had to do to finish. Schedule those classes, and the next year, 2014 graduation, I was there.
Yeah.
But like 2013 December, I stopped going entirely. So you finished in 2013 or 14?
14.
Oh damn! Okay.
I think I remember them letting me graduate, but I still had one more thing to do. But yeah, it all worked out.
Yeah. So that's what's up, man. I mean, me and you, we had a couple of others. I remember we had a couple classes with, what's his name? Eugene and stuff. So
yeah, man. I kind of, and actually, I know I did it. I don't know if you knew Ambia, and there was someone else. We actually, a group of us did an internship together at the New York Stock Exchange. That was pretty cool. And, I kind of regret not keeping in touch with most people, but it's difficult,
Well, communication is both ways. One, and they gotta want to communicate with you is what I realized, because if you ask me how much people still talk to me to CityTech this day, it's not even 10. So
Yeah, I feel you on that. And it's kind of funny when you look at the people we either had classes with or they were obviously in the same major as us, and half of them are not even, they didn't even stay in it.
what I've realized too, talking to my other colleague, they didn't go into the IT field for work.
Yeah.
And I get it. Like, you need money now. You don't want to wait. You have other stuff going on in your life where you have to work right after school, or maybe you have other responsibilities that was in the way. So, and some people, they find it so hard to get into this field, but me and you, we went that route where we ended up doing IT jobs.
Yeah. It was difficult to get into, man. It was kind of rough starting off. You don't even know where to start half the time. I can't even tell you how many interviews I did, and I felt like giving up at times too.
Yeah, it took me a couple years to get my first IT job, and I'm not even gonna lie on here. My family was very discouraged. They kept sending me city exams. They kept sending me MCA exams. They kept saying, "Oh, I have a person who works here. I have a person that works there. Why don't you do this instead? You have a degree. Why don't you just do something else?" But I didn't want to do it.
Hey, listen to me, man. Half my family worked or either worked or works for transit right now. So I was right there with you. I actually took a few. I did the conductor exam.
Mm-hmm.
And this was like right after I graduated high school. So they called me when I was in CityTech, when I was finishing up. It takes like 10 years for them to call you. And they told me flat out they wouldn't work with my schedule. Like, the guy told me to my face, he's like, just drop out of school, because they would have me like on any shift they wanted me to. I was a new person.
But when you start, they put you on any shift. They could have you at 2 a.m. Yeah, you got to be there. You got to get to that terminal, wherever the hell it is, Bronx, Manhattan, whatever.
I remember also doing a city exam for an IT position, but again, by the time they called me, I already moved out of state.
But you knew you passed those exams, right?
Yeah, they tell you on the spot. I'm pretty. Yeah, I think
not all the time. Not all the time.
They mailed you. They mail
you, right? Yeah. So like, I understand it was pretty difficult, and then of course with the whole Rikers thing, even people was telling me to go do Rikers for a while, but I was like, nah, I don't want to do corrections.
Yeah.
Because Rikers was hiring, corrections was hiring like crazy at one point. The police too was basically begging people to come on as well.
Yeah, that's true.
So like, I'm guessing all those other people who graduated with us found their way into all those other fields that was on demand. And they had their reasons. I get it. Life. You had a family to feed. Your parents no longer supporting you. You know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure, man.
So I want to ask you, do you remember the party days?
I do, man. I remember going to a few parties with you.
Do you remember the one in my basement?
I do. I think one of my other friends who went to CityTech, Richard, was there, right?
Richard was there as well. Yeah. And your boy, and your other boy came with you.
Oh, Jamal. Yeah, that's right.
Jamal came. We have a picture with you and Jamal, right?
Yeah, Richard and Jamal are cousins, actually.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah, those were the good days, man. Haven't done something like that in forever, but
So what you thought of that night? It was a crazy night, right?
It was, man. It was super fun, you know. Yeah, I remember having a really good time.
And we came out to a couple of club events at Octagon and think.
Yeah, I remember you guys were doing those events pretty hard, man. So yeah, I remember coming out a few times when I could. Yeah, I mean, what kind of changed with all of that? I mean, obviously we all got a little older, but
We're just diverting into different directions. Right now we're trying to take over the podcast game. It may resurrect, but you know, after the COVID thing slowed everything down, we just decided to go different directions. So that's basically where we are at the moment.
for sure, man. Yeah, that makes
I
sense.
personally still like to go out every now and then whenever I could, but of course with times and you needing money, it's not an orphan occurrence.
Yeah, I hear you.
when you become an adult and you're not living with your parents, it's a whole different ball game.
Yeah.
So I don't even know what else I have to discuss with you. I think then that's all we have, man. So would you recommend anybody to go to CityTech if they wanted to go?
You know, I definitely would. And the further I get into like my career and some of those things I kind of overlooked, especially, you know, in our classes, focusing on our major. And I think I'm starting to see the value in it, you know. There's things I'm relearning. And obviously, you know, if you're not using something, you're not gonna retain it. But I think it does it is pretty accurate to what, you know, for what to expect in the real world. So I'm happy with it and I would recommend it.
All right. How do you feel in the IT field and with your experience? How do you feel about the user support? What do you think is hard? What do you like?
Honestly, dealing with users is hard, you know. But that's just the job.
I mean, it would have been the same thing if you was working in a clothing store or on a hotline anyway.
Exactly. Any type of customer facing job is going to be difficult. But you know, I think it really depends on the company, and you know, I think a better experience is the companies that give you the flexibility and they hear your ideas and, you know, allow you to experiment and try things. That's willing to teach you, you know. So I think that's the difficult part. Like, especially with IT, somebody will hire you for this position, and a lot of times they won't offer you that growth or training.
And I get that you become stuck or pigeonholed and you just don't grow as a professional.
Exactly. But you know, it changes quick. And when you don't have access to do certain things, you know, it kind of holds you back. What
do you think is the future of desktop support, you know, end user support?
It's a great question. I think, you know, there's a lot out there, right? Like Google, and there's a lot of resources, but I think desktop support is not going to change for the most part. I think, you know, there's a lot of cloud solutions too, so maybe there'll be a need for less positions, but you know, a lot of that stuff could be managed remotely. But I've learned that, you know, some people still are afraid of technology.
I mean, I honestly think that technology is taking everybody's job.
It is. You know, I was just talking to someone about that. They got that first McDonald's with no workers that opened in Texas. Like, that stuff is scary, you know. I don't even know how it fully works. I didn't watch the video, but it's no employees. It's all automated, and it's crazy. But
And that could be everywhere. That could be cashiers. That could be in Target. I mean, we see a version of that here with the self checkout.
Yeah,
where we do the work.
I think the biggest thing in 2023 right now is the AI. You know, like ChatGPT. That thing can really put people out of jobs. You know, developers and really anybody. But I've honestly used it myself a couple weeks ago for work to write a script, and it helped. Like, what would have took me hours to research and put together, it did for me in like 5 minutes. So
wow, 5 minutes.
It's kind of scary using it, and I was hesitant to even mention it to my boss, but she was aware of it, and she's like, "Yeah, I've used it too."
AI is the future.
AI is the future. It can be a good or bad thing, but you know.
But I feel like we always have versions of AI embedded in our devices with the evolution of Siri and Alexa, and how the phone, you can talk to the phone and it will do everything.
Yeah, we do. But I think
just more evolved.
Yeah, it's getting smarter and it's getting more it's more available to everybody, you know. Anybody can use ChatGPT now through Bing. So
did you hear that they're using AI? Like, let's say it's a pop song made by Taylor Swift. They will have somebody do an AI of Rihanna singing it over, or SZA singing it over. I know you heard of that.
I was watching that for like a half an hour last night, man.
That is nuts.
That is scary. And I see like companies like UMG is putting the pressure on Apple and Spotify to stop these, you know, the AI from accessing their database. So yeah, it's gonna be tricky, man.
Well, at the database is everything's available. Like, look how easy it is to sample a song. People aren't even sampling songs like more like people are sampling songs 2 or 3 years ago now. They're not even caring if it's like a year old. They're sampling it and making it their own.
Exactly. And just like anything, if people can't get it through these services, they're gonna find another way to get it.
That is entirely true.
Another scary thing I was looking at is called, which is actually really cool, AI art. I don't know if you saw that. You literally type in the description, like, you know, dark, cloudy image with stare, and it creates this unique illustration for you, like this image that can't be found anywhere else. And people are like, you know, they're taking ownership of it and selling it or doing whatever. But
they probably could even use it as their cover art for albums and mixtapes.
And it's cool, but again, that takes away from all these artists, you know. So yeah, I think everybody's profession is in danger in some sort of capacity. Not everybody, you know, not like police officers and firefighters, but it is.
Yes, they are. They're trying to have robot police officers now.
I did see that too. New York has a whole bunch of they brought the dog back, and they got the other robot that's going to be on the trains and platforms. Yeah, it's definitely a scary time, man.
Yeah, man. So so that's the future of IT support, and that's what it is right now. That's what you think?
Yeah, for sure.
Man. Well, I want to thank you for coming on and chatting with me on this. And it was great to have you.
I appreciate it, man. And yeah, definitely.
Tell the people where they could follow you.
Yeah, mainly I'm on Instagram at Dan Bethencourt, DanBethancourt.
Okay. So catch you later, man, and we'll be back.
Later, man.
All right. This is the Star Roddy Rod, and I'm the host of Star Time. So I want to tell y'all about this awesome show that I'm on called the Premier Boys Podcast, where it's just me and three other brothers, Ken Mr. Gentleman, Ken Talk Aaron Sands, and Long Live the Chief Mally Mal, discussing topics of the culture and our opinions, latest news topics, latest stories, scandals, and we have a lot of fun doing this, you know? We talk our own opinions. Sometimes it's real raw, real raunchy, and sometimes it's just fun and games. So, you know, listen to it with an ear, you know, of enjoyment. We're here to entertain you, you know? We talk about topics of the news. We talk about reviews of shows. We just talk about anything from music to current events and everything in between. So you can catch us on Wednesdays on all streaming platforms with the exception of Spotify. So after you listen to this, go right ahead and listen and subscribe to the Premier Boys Podcast. Recommended by me, the Star Roddy Rod of Star Time. All right. It's Star Time. I want to thank everybody for listening to this episode. Wherever you're hearing this, like, subscribe, and share this episode to everybody you know. I want to grow the numbers, you know? The fact that you're coming back means that you actually enjoy the show. And for my new listeners, I want y'all to return. So you can catch me here every Monday at 12 a.m. on streaming platforms such as Spotify, iHeartRadio, Radio Public, Google Podcasts. Or you can catch me, you know, make sure you follow me on IG at The Star Roddy Rod. I'll tell you how to spell the star, but Roddy Rod is RODDYROD. Shout out to my boy Daniel for coming on and chopping it up on the second episode of College Days, CityTech. It's real good that I knew him for a long time and we still talk. And, you know, like he said, there's not many people from college that I still talk to, you know, and he said the same thing. He lost touch with a lot. So it's real special that, you know, after all these years, we still talk to and keep in touch. Also, catch me co-hosting Mr. Gentleman Lifestyle Presents The Old School Show, returning May 25th and every fourth Thursday. And also catch me with my fellow bros on the Premier Boys Podcast featuring Ken Mr. Gentleman, King Talk Aaron Sands, and Long Live the Chief, they call me Mally Mal, every Wednesday on all streaming platforms except Spotify. Also like and comment on the Premier Boys on Good Pods. We going up. So I just want to thank everybody once again for checking out this episode, and I'll catch you on the next one.
This is Dan. You are now listening to Star Time.